We now know how many Ukrainian soldiers have been lost, and I mean completely lost, since the beginning of Russia's invasion of Ukraine almost 3 years ago. This number comes from Zelensky, in which he said that number is 43,000 soldiers. This is the first time ever that we have verified numbers about how many men had been lost in Ukraine, including they had talked about casualties, which for Ukraine was 370,000 versus the Russian numbers, which he gave us, which is 750,000 casualties, including 198,000 that were completely taken out and 550,000 wounded. So why give these numbers out? Why today? I believe a lot of it has to do with his meeting with Donald Trump, since this all came from X, in which Zelensky put all this information out and started off by saying that he met with Trump. And while I'm probably going to do a separate video reading his entire thing, because it's probably about 12 paragraphs long, I just want to read one little quote for you towards the end. We know Putin very well. He's addicted to war. He began his career with a brutal war against Chechnya and has been constantly fueling other wars. He can only be stopped by strength, the strength of world leaders who can become leaders of peace. We count on America and the entire world to help stop Putin. The only things he fears are America and global unity. Those, my friends, are massive words. We are right now at this very moment seeing A, Zelensky being very vulnerable, giving out a lot of this information. But B, we're seeing a partnership that could potentially help lead to an understanding to Trump what needs to be done to not only stop what's going on in Ukraine, but to also stop what Putin is doing across the entire world. Because whether or not you don't see it, it's there on how much Putin controls things and is causing mayhem everywhere. I mean, let's just look in the past 3-4 weeks. There have been so many events that have been tied to Putin. You look in Georgia, their elections clearly persuade by Russia, especially by Russian money, and now Russian politics. You look in Romania, we're finding out, at least declassified documents show, that certain Russian people paid a certain pro-Russian candidate $1 million and created a bot farm to push certain agendas. In South Korea, we're seeing how the South Korean president felt that a lot of the people in his parliament were getting more and more towards North Korean values at the same time as North Korea is getting money and weapons from Russia, which is what spooked him because he felt like maybe the Russians are getting to certain parliament members inside his party. We're seeing that in Syria, Russia had been fueling the, well, now past regime, and now that it has fallen, they're the ones speaking on behalf of Syria, which is like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. And of course, you see what's going on in Ukraine, in which Russia can't do this on its own, so it involves China, North Korea, and Iran. You can see how everything is happening because of Russia. And if we can remove a little bit of power from Russia in different aspects, Russia won't have that power, and they will be shut down. And like right now, Russia is losing all power in Syria at this very moment. They're withdrawing all their equipment. Just another area in which Russia does not have its power. I will once again probably read out his entire tweet later on today, so be sure to share my videos and follow me for more.